Googlers for.
But they're not gonna have any outside storage, so.
Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting, Monday, May 23rd, 2022. Tiffany, could you do roll call to order, please?
Jim Craig,
Yes.
Kevin Neef,
Yes.
Jim Langmo,
Yes.
Lisa Jepson,
Yes.
Kenny Jones, Mark Ross, Jeff Cater.
Yes.
Pat, are there any changes or updates to the agenda?
No changes or updates to the agenda.
All right. Does anyone need a moment to look at the agenda? Are we comfortable with a motion to approve? All right. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Make a motion.
Jim L.
Second.
I think Jim L should make the motion and Jim C has seconded. So we are covered by the Jims. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Does anyone need a moment to look at the minutes? I just want to put on the record, Tiffany, thank you for taking such excellent minutes. There was a lot of public input, which we love to see, and it's a challenge to capture that. And thank you for doing that. I really appreciate that. So do we have a motion to approve the April 25th regular meeting minutes?
So moved.
All right. Thank you. Jeff has moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Kevin has seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, Community Development Director's Report. Pat, update us.
Absolutely. You guys have done a lot of work and it's gone on to the Council for Action and they are moving forward with your recommendations. So far, the Anthony Properties is moving forward with their preliminary planned unit development and are in the process of doing some design work to finalize that. So that's when it'll come back to you as well. The Edgewood Village Edition is moving forward with their first edition. It has been recorded, so that is also going forward, and they'll be able to start selling lots here shortly, would be my guess. And then the Stamy Industrial Park 6th edition final plat also went through.
Great. Does anyone have any questions for Pat? Excellent. Thank you very much, Pat. All right. We are moving now to the public input portion of the meeting. We will be considering the resolution for recommendation to Board of Adjustment to approve the conditional use request submitted by Holland Hall Engineers for the property known as Hiawatha North Edgewood Road 3rd, Lot 1, Hiawatha, Iowa. Tiffany, have we received any written or oral comments from the public?
We have not.
No. Okay, thank you. Is there anyone present who would like to speak on behalf of the project? Thank you.
Susan Fornash from Holland Hall Engineers representing the applicant. I can kind of explain the project if you guys, we kind of talked a little before, but so Jim Burrish Construction is a home builder who currently has their office in Cedar Rapids. They're going to relocate to this location. Basically, there won't be any outside storage. All of their construction trucks will be stored inside. Minimal construction materials inside the building. I think basically why we're doing this is because a contractor shop, which what they're considered, requires the conditional use. So I sent some renderings over of the building so you guys could kind of see what that looks like. They do have 2 accesses proposed off of Miller Road, and one of those would be a shared access with the proposed lot to the south. We will do a final plat for this to separate this parcel into 2 lots, and then they would purchase the north lot, which is about 212 feet. So
is it fair to say when I looked at the renderings, I thought they had made a lot of effort to make it look like an office building that is consistent with the other office buildings that are in that area? Is that correct?
Yes. And I don't know if you guys know Jim Burrish. They do very high-end home design and construction. So yeah, they want their office where their clients are coming to discuss building a new home to be top-notch. So
okay, thank you. Fellow commissioners, do we have any questions for Susan?
I was just going to ask, do you have those elevations? Can you put them on the screen or not?
We're trying to get those pulled up right now.
What happens, do you know what happens when Edgewood goes through then? Or would you alter your driveways or is that too far ahead? We don't know.
Possibly, I guess I don't know when Edgewood will go through. I mean, right now, I mean, they would have their address off of Miller Road. I don't know that they'd want to change that when Edgewood was constructed.
That would also have to go through a redesign of their site plan.
And I don't know, when they have their parking installed and everything, if they want to rip that out to have another access, they haven't really
I just didn't-
said that they.
I didn't get a chance to look at the elevations because I was out of town, but does the elevation on the Edgewood Road side then present well as far as, since it's going to be the back, but
Yes, in fact, they did a very nice job of making it on all four sides because
Mhm.
Edgewood Road is actually part of the design guidelines. And so they had to use a certain type of structural materials and also keep the garage doors from facing Edgewood Road. And they did all of that.
The garage doors face south on the site.
That was my question.
Almond Design did is
If you want to
designing the
see it,
building.
Jim, we have it on this computer, but we checked it.
Yeah, go look at it. They did a nice job.
Pretty snazzy. I thought it looked pretty good.
It's
for,
a
you know,
it's a beautiful
standard
building.
In
construction
keeping
type.
with the other
Yeah, it's
buildings.
similar to the stuff that's
Yeah.
across the street.
Right.
Sattlers. and
Sattlers,
stuff.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I mean, bigger, but still with the
Right,
nice
yep.
finishes. So, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the Edgewood.
While
side.
Jim is looking at the renderings, anyone else have any questions for Susan?
very nice.
Jim, you're good?
Very nice.
All right. Thank you, Susan. Pat, does staff have any comments to add to Susan's remarks?
Yes, we do. We did do a research at the conditions and the standards for conditional uses in this particular one. And if you look at my recommendation, I know this is a high-class builder and he's willing to comply with these requirements. What we want to be careful of is though, if this becomes a conditional use for a contractor, it could be a different contractor. And we want to make sure that the same standards are used if somebody else were to pull up under the same conditional use. And so we're making the recommendation that they maintain all activities inside the building and that they maintain all storage of materials and equipment inside the building. And those are conditional uses over and above what would normally be required in this zone.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, any questions for Pat?
Is across the street a Sattler conditional use?
No, there are no conditional uses in this area.
'Cause
So
have
they
their
are,
construction trailers parked up front.
that would be correct.
Okay, just curious.
So this is a different standard that would apply to this site.
That is correct.
You got houses on one side, but they're all going to be divided by Edgewood Road, so it's really a natural cutoff.
It really is, and that's why we are supporting the conditional use request as a staff.
Any other questions for staff? You're good?
Good.
All right.
Just a small reminder, Lisa, the motion, if you want conditions, should include the conditions.
Okay, can I word that in the sense, I don't have that wording, specific wording in front of me. Can I say subject to the additional conditions recommended by staff? May I phrase it that way for the motion?
That would work.
Okay. Let me make a quick note of that.
And then I could read those into the,
Yes, thank you. Thank you for doing that. All right, this is our opportunity to get feedback from the public. So are there any members of the audience? We do this in a structured manner. First, we'll ask if anyone wants to speak in favor of the proposal, and then we'll ask if anyone wants to speak against the proposal. So is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in favor of the proposal? Is there anyone, I will note that no one has come forward to speak in favor of the proposal as a member of the audience. Are there any members of the audience who would like to speak in opposition of the proposal? Do we have any concerns that we need to hear? Okay. All right. Please note, no one has come forward to speak in opposition of the proposal. Susan, do you have anything else to add? Do you feel like we've covered all the information that we need? Okay. Any additional comments from the audience? We're good? Okay, hearing no additional comments from the audience, I will officially end the public input meeting. And that will take us to some final discussion from commissioners. Anything,
I do want to ask another question.
Jim?
Patrick, are you anticipating that the area south, that's the gardens now, will end up being commercial, not residential?
The area that building is proposed for is actually the garden area, I believe. And then
Mhm.
south of that, it is zoned commercial, but we don't have anybody that's made any application.
So
So
that's
you-
in the garden part? Okay.
This is on the north part
I thought
of
it was on
the,
north side, but I just
Mhm.
figured there were still gardens more to the south.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
no.
So are you saying then you'll come back later to subdivide this lot into 2 lots? Is that what I understood?
When we submit our set of plans to construct the site. we'll do a final plans.
And then retain ownership of that lot or seek to sell it or not sure?
Burish will buy that lot 1 from the current owner,
Oh, got it.
and then the current owner will still have the south side.
Any other questions from commissioners? Are we in a position to make the motion to approve? Making the motion?
Make a motion.
Kevin will move. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jim Craig will second. All right, I'm going to read it, right, Pat? All right, here we go. This is resolution for recommendation to Board of Adjustment to approve the conditional use request submitted by Holland Hall Engineers for the property known as Hiawatha North Edgewood Road, 3rd, Lot 1, Hiawatha, Iowa, subject to additional conditions as currently read into the minutes by Pat. Take it away, Pat.
The conditions include 1, maintain all activities within the building, and 2, maintain all storage of materials and equipment within the building.
Thank you. Okay, we have our motion, we have our second. Kevin moved, Jim Craig seconded. Tiffany, we're ready for roll call.
Jim Langmo,
Approve.
Lisa Jepson,
Aye.
Jeff Cader,
Aye.
Jim Craig,
Aye.
Kevin Neef.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Our second item of business is to consider resolution for recommendation to City Council to approve the final plat and development agreement submitted by Brain Engineering for the property known as Timber Creek Estates, Hiawatha, Iowa. Now, this is a final plat. Sometimes, Pat, you share with us any changes from what we have seen previously. So may I ask you if there are any changes from what we've seen previously?
There is a change from what you have seen previously. The original preliminary plat did not include a designated outlot for the retention. That is now outlot 8, which is an improvement in terms of being able to maintain that outlot as an easement. But so with that, I believe there was a loss of 1 lot.
Mhm. Okay. All right, commissioners, do we have any questions?
Yeah, so what'd they do? Cut off that little square at the southwest corner?
That's correct.
What
That's
did
it.
that become?
Isn't that the utility?
It becomes a shared owned piece of property by the owners association. For right now, it's actually going to be owned by the developer, and it is for the specific purpose of receiving and maintaining the stormwater system.
So it's a detention area,
detention
similar to what we
area.
would call a detention pond in some of the existing
Correct.
developments.
Pointing to the detention area, I understand that. I'm talking about the area south of that little square. Don't they own that?
The parcel A,
Yeah.
plat of survey number 2571 is actually owned by the city. That is our sewer lift station.
So we don't have to worry about maintenance there. That's what I was wondering about.
Correct.
And then lot 1, is that just a full size, that's the size of a residential lot, or is there future plans?
Lot 1 is designated as a single lot of approximately 7.85 acres.
You want, great, please come up. Thanks. No, you're good. You're good. You're getting your steps in. Can you give us your name and, yeah.
I am the owner and we're the developers of the land. So currently the plan for lot 1 is for us to build our own residential home there in the future. So
Thank
I
you.
just wondered, it was large. I thought, well, why wouldn't you develop that? So that-
yeah,
Because he
no,
likes
we
it.
wanted to so
He likes it.
we're able to find some finally.
Okay, thanks for that explanation.
Yeah. No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Great place right next to the park.
Yes, it is. And since you brought that up, the plan of improvements was approved by council quite a while ago, and they are in the process of putting the cul-de-sac in along with the access to the park. It is not completed, and that is why the recommendation is for the final plat and for the development agreement for the completion of those improvements.
All right. Any further questions?
Yeah.
All right. So are we comfortable then voting on the resolution for recommendation to City Council to approve the final plat and development agreement submitted by Brain Engineering for the property known as Timber Creek Estates, Hiawatha, Iowa? You need a motion? Kevin has moved, and I need a second.
Second.
Jim L. has seconded. We are ready to vote.
Kevin Neef,
Aye.
Lisa Jepson,
Aye.
Jeff Cader,
Aye.
Jim Craig,
Aye.
Jim Langmo.
Aye.
All right, we are now ready for everyone's favorite motion of the evening. We need a formal motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Jeff has enthusiastically moved,
Second.
and Kevin has even more enthusiastically seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Better get a big lawnmower.
Yeah.